Hello and welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. My name is Joris and today I am here with the final video of 2024 because it's a time of the year where you have to spend time with your family. So I'm going to take 1 week and a half, 2 weeks off of making YouTube videos. So I'm going to give the wrap up for 2024 of December 2024 and also for 2024 in total. So for the wrap up of December of 2024, it's the usual deal. I'm going to give the dividends that we received, what we bought, so SDGPEX. What I'm going to buy at the end of January, it's going to be GLDV. And then I'm going to talk about our current value of our ETF portfolio, then the predicted future yearly dividends, the dividends to be received in January, and then I'm going to give the overview of the wrap up of December, and then I'm going to give the overview for 2024. So if you want to check that out, just skip to the end of the video if you only want to see that. I put timestamps down in the description below. So the dividend that I receive every month, it's the dividend from XYLF. So it's the Global X S&P 500 cover call UCITS ETF, and I received 0.13 cents of $0.13 for every share of XYLF that we have in our portfolio. So in total we received $12.47. And here you can see the exchange rate with which I later then calculate how much Swiss francs that represents. And that's always the case for all the dividends. So when it's in US dollar, you will see the exchange rate here. When it's in euro, you will see the exchange rate there as well. So for LDG, that's one in euro. We have 178 shares and we received a little bit less than 7 euro cents for every share that we have there, and that came to 12.25 euros that we received from LDG. But it was almost the double of what we received on the same moment of the year from LDG. So I was really happy about that. And it's the same for FLXD. There, the dividend that we received was also slightly higher, so I was happy about that as well. And there we received 35.35 euros. And then the last one, the last dividend that we received in December, I had to wait for VHYL to make this video because it was only deposited today into our account. So we received 42.95 dollar cents for every share of VHYL, giving us a total of $36.52. And a new inclusion that I made is the conversion from Swiss francs to euro, because we are investing 900 Swiss francs every month, but this month I had to buy SDGPEX and we need euros for that. We had around 15 euros available. Okay, we received also the dividend from LDG and FLXD, but yeah, that's certainly not enough to invest towards SDGPX. So with the 900 Swiss francs, we were able to buy 957 euros. And yeah, the conversion rate, it was 0.005 Swiss francs higher than the rate that it was on that day, but that's just a Swiss quote that wants to earn money as well, of course. So, but with those euros, we were able to buy 32 shares of SDGPX at a price of 29.20 euros. And the commission went down as well for SDGPX. So normally it was around 9 euros and now it's only 5. So it came down with 4 euros. So that's really nice of Swissquote to include this ETF now as well in their reduction ETFs with a reduced fee. And yeah, the tax remained the same, and the stock exchange fee is also around that amount all the time. But now it's around 8.55 that we had to pay in cost. Normally it's more than 11 euros. So once again, really happy about that. And in total, we spent 942.95 euros to buy those 32 stocks. So now our ETF portfolio looks like this, with the 32 shares that we bought extra from SDGPEX. Now we have 1,406 shares of SDGPEX, and it's going to pay out a dividend on the 15th of January. That's already announced, so you will see that later. The price came down, unfortunately, but still in total the price is up, but it's in a lighter green, and that's just because it is up because we bought the 32 extra shares. But you see, this month it was actually quite bad. GLDV was down, VHYL was down quite a bit, LDG slightly down, and FLXD was also down quite a bit. So those four ETFs went down considerably. The only stock that went up was the covered call ETF from Global X. So there we are now with a price of 14.426 Swiss francs. But yeah, the S&P 500 performed really good this year, so it's no surprise that XYLF is performing good as well. So there we are in the green. But for this month, compared to last month, there we had 56,885.97 Swiss francs, and that was on the 25th of November. So in total, we invested 878.37 Swiss francs to buy the 32 shares. And if you then calculate everything, now we have 56,793.74 Swiss francs. So that's a loss of 92.23 Swiss francs in value, but yeah, we spent 878.37 Swiss francs. So in total, in fact, our portfolio lost 970.61 Swiss francs, or 1.71%. But we also received those for dividends, of course. So when we include those, from XYLF, that means 10.95 Swiss francs. From LDG, 11.40 Swiss francs. FLXD, 32.97 Swiss francs. From VHYL, 32.89 Swiss francs. And this amounts then actually to a loss of 882.40 Swiss francs, or a loss of minus 1.55%. The total dollar amount that we have on our Swiss quote account is 423.65. I promised in the previous update that I was going to buy EMHD, but I'm going to wait until February. We have two more dividends from XYLF to receive, and also a dividend from GLDV to receive then. So I think then we are going to be around the $500 mark, and that's going to be way better for our expense ratio, for our transaction fee that we need to pay. And our total euro amount on our Swiss quote account right now is 71.15 euros. So that is going to go towards, I think it's the FLXD that we need to buy in euros as well. So with the euro dividend from SDGPX and the euros that we have, I'm going to buy FLXD, and yeah, probably I'm going to do that at the end of January as well, but I need to see what I'm going to do about that. The predicted future dividends, so yeah, the amount of shares of SDGPX went up to 1,406, so it's no surprise that the total Swiss francs that we receive from SDGPX for our predicted future dividend is way higher than the previous time. But because the euro went up and dollar went up as well compared to the Swiss franc, because the SNB dropped the interest rate with 0.50%, and this really had an effect now on the valuation of the Swiss franc. So it finally lost a bit of value compared to the euro and the dollar, which is really good for my dividend predictions, of course. So yeah, my total yearly dividends for next year are previewed to be 2,653.99 Swiss francs already. So next year we are normally going to receive more than 2,653.99 Swiss francs, because we are investing every month around 900 Swiss francs. So it's going to go up every month, and the next goal is to have more than 2,700 Swiss francs in yearly dividends, and monthly we are aiming towards 250 as our next goal. So the dividends for January, XYLF, it's not announced yet. It's actually a bit abnormal for Global X to not having announced it yet. The American counterpart of XYLF, XYLE, they already announced it, and it's going to be, the X date is going to be the 30th of December, but yeah, in Europe it's not announced yet. Then you have SDGPEX, going to go X date, and the record date is the same date, so the 15th of January of 2025, and the amount is going to be 0.3703, slightly less than previous year in the same quarter. There it was 0.3711. So 8/10,000ths of a euro less we are going to receive. So this amount is in euros. And then the update overview. So we invested 878.37 Swiss francs this month, together with 855 Swiss francs in cost, of course. And we also deposited 200 Swiss francs into our U-portfolio. You already saw my video of the last Monday, in which I said that I invested towards the... It wasn't last Monday, it was on Friday, last Friday, and we invested then towards Nestle. 3 stocks for a total value of 220, because we still had 70 and a bit Swiss francs left on our account, and now we are left with around 50 Swiss francs on our account on the U to be invested hopefully next month with the 200 Swiss francs that I'm going to deposit then as well. The future yearly dividend is now 2,653.89 Swiss francs, or 221 Swiss francs per month. The last month it was minus 882.40, so minus 1.55, and compared to so the previous month in November, where we had a positive result of 1,015.65, or plus 1.84%, yeah, we almost lost all our profits from the month of November. The total portfolio worth is 56,793.74 Swiss francs, and our dividend yield right now is 4.67, and I promised to give you my yield on cost, and that is 4.70%, and it's only slightly lower, or slightly better, I should say. So that means that in fact my portfolio isn't up that much compared to all the buy-in that we did, but yeah, the costs take up a lot of our yield as well, of course. And you have to think about the fact that every time when we receive a dividend, and every time when we reinvest that dividend together with the new money that flows in, we actually increase the the average worth of our portfolio as well. So in that regard, it's no big surprise that in the beginning, when you are beginning with a portfolio, and I still believe that we are in the beginning, although we are already underway since 2016. So it's a long journey, but it's going to be a much longer journey. We still have a time horizon of around 23, 24 years before we retire. So that's a long way to go. And I think this is going to go up more compared to the dividend yield, the current dividend yield, but it's going to take time as well. So this year, we started at 38,160 Swiss francs, and we invested in total 14,627.84 Swiss francs. And because we have received 2,395.83 Swiss francs in dividends that we reinvested, almost everything, not the dollars of course, but this means that we invested new money 12,232.01 Swiss francs. So that's more than the 900 Swiss francs that we are depositing right now. But that is because I switched the 200 Swiss francs that sometimes I was depositing into our ETF portfolio is now every month going towards our U portfolio. So next year it's going to be less that we invest into this portfolio, but in total we are still going to invest more than what you see here. Certainly because our dividends are going to go up. So this year we received 2,395.83, and if you remember, I'm going to go back here. We are already predicted to have 2,653.89 Swiss francs next year. So that's already 270 Swiss francs more than what we received this year. So that's already quite nice. And compared to 2023, where we received 1,763, we are up 632 Swiss francs that we increased our dividends, our yearly dividends by. So that's quite nice. And we ended our year with a portfolio worth of 56,793.74 Swiss francs. So if you calculate with everything here, so 56,793.74 minus the 14,627 that we invested, plus the 2,395.83 Swiss francs that we received in dividends, minus the 38,160 where we started our year with, we have a plus of 6,401.73 Swiss francs in returns from our portfolio. And that's a very nice result according to my calculations, with calculating also the fact that we contributed every month 900 Swiss francs, or around 1,000 Swiss francs in fact every month. This means that we had a return of plus 12.1% this year. And I know that's not as good as the S&P 500, which is up 25.95%. The Nasdaq 100 is up almost 30%. The Dow Jones is up 14.21%. So that's also slightly better than our portfolio. But it's much better than the SME, so the Swiss stock market, with the 20 most important shares of Switzerland, is only up 0.88%. Halfway the year, it was up almost 8-9%. So in the last half of the year, it lost that positive vibe, and it started declining, mostly due to Nestle, of course, because that one stock lost a lot of value, and that's why I picked it up as well, because I think it's quite overreacting that all the investors are doing, but that's how it goes on the stock market. And the Eurostoxx 50, that one is up 8.55%. And yeah, I like the Eurostoxx 50. I also like the MSCI Europe index. So I should have included that one here as well, but I forgot it. But all those numbers there, I didn't calculate for extra money infusions during the year. So in fact, the comparisons of my 12.1% compared to the numbers that you see here are not completely correct. But that's going to be the case every year because I can't really do that, or I need to make a really elaborate Excel file, but I don't have the time for that, unfortunately. The total dividend received is so far for my portfolio 5,021.25, or I should say our portfolio because it's a portfolio of me and my wife. So, and that's right now 8.84% of our portfolio. That number is climbing up slowly but steadily. So that's quite nice. And our portfolio is now completely covered from the COVID-19 crash in 2020 and also from the crash in 2022, because then our portfolio took a hit as well. So I'm really happy about that. We had a really great year. I hope you have nice holidays and that you have a nice time with your family. I wish you all a happy new year, and with that being said, thank you for watching to this one, and see you on the next one on my YouTube channel. Bye!